Hi to all. I hope you all are safe at home. Today I am taking the fourth part of plant kingdom. In this session I am going to discuss about pteridophytes, economic importance of pteridophytes, classification of pteridophytes and common names of certain pteridophytes. So let us start with salient features of pteridophyte. Pteridophytes are commonly called as ferns due to its feather-like frond, that is leaves. Why it is called as ferns? Because its leaves are feather-like. It is the largest living group of plant having more than 10,000 species. It includes two groups. One is horsetail, another is ferns. They are also called as ornamental plants. Why they are called as ornamental plants? Because of its beautiful leaves. Its leaves are very beautiful. Pteridophytes are first land plants having vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem. Habitat of pteridophyte are cool, damp and shady places. But some may grow well in sandy soil condition. The main independent plant body of pteridophyte is sporophyte, and it is differentiated into two roots, two stem and two leaves. The primary roots of pteridophyte is short leaves, and it is replaced by adventitious roots which have permanent growing apex that helps in growth of roots. The stem in pteridophytes are usually herbaceous except in some woody ferns. As far as the leaves of pteridophytes are concerned, it may be small microphyllous or large macrophyllous. Microphyllous leaves are seen in Lycopodium and Equisetum, whereas megaphyllous leaves are seen in Pteridium, Pteris and other ferns. Reproduction in case of pteridophytes takes place by a spore produced inside the sporangia, and these sporangia are borne on the ventral surface of fertile leaves called sporophylls. But in some case, these sporophylls forms compact structure called astrobili or cones, as in Selaginella and Equisetum. The sporangia are responsible for production of spores by meiotic division, and they germinate to form small multicellular haploid gametophyte which is called as prothallus. Here the gametophyte is called as prothallus, but you have seen that in case of bryophyte the haploid gametophyte is called as protonema. Cool, shady and damp places are required for the growth of prothallus. Further, this prothallus forms male sex organ Antheridia and female sex organ Archegonia. Like bryophytes, in pteridophytes also, Antheridia form male gamete, that is antherozoid, and Archegonia forms female gamete, that is an egg. Union of male and female gamete, that is antherozoid and an egg, results in the formation of zygote. This fusion and fertilization require water. After fertilization, zygote is formed, which further forms multicellular, well differentiated sporophyte. So, thus, you have seen that there is alternation of generation. After gametophyte, a sporophyte is formed, and after a sporophyte, gametophyte is formed. In pteridophytes, the sporophyte may be homosparous, means it produces only one kind of a spores, as in Lycopodium, Pteridium, but it may be heterosporous also. That is, it produces two different types of spores, smaller microspores and larger megaspore, as it is seen in Selaginella, Salvinia, Marsilia, etc. Now here it is very interesting. The megaspore germinates to form female gametophyte and microspores germinate to form male gametophyte. The female gametophyte retain on the parent sporophyte for variable periods. Here the zygote development takes place, which is an important event and is a precursor to seed habit and also an important step in evolution. Now it is about economic importance of pteridophytes. Like algae and bryophytes, pteridophytes also have some economic importance and are used for various purposes. They are used as medicine. For example, Lycopodium is used in the treatment of rheumatism and disorders of lungs and kidneys, whereas Adiantum roots are used to cure throat infections. They are also used as soil binders, means they hold the soil and prevent them from being eroded, thus helps in preventing soil erosion. Pteridophytes have ornamental value also. Many ferns are grown as ornamental plants in the gardens for their large, showy, graceful and beautiful leaves. They are also used as food. The sporocarp of Marsilia are rich source of starch and used for their nutritive value. Let us see about classification of pteridophytes. Pteridophytes are classified into four different classes. What are they? First is Psilopsida, example of which is Psilotum. Second one is Lycopsida, examples are Selaginella, Lycopodium. Third one is Sphenopsida, that is Equisetum, example is. And last one is Pteropsida. Examples are Dryopteris, Pteris, Adiantum, Pteridium, Azolla, Marsilia, etc. Now in this figure, you can observe the beauty of different pteridophytes like Psilotum, Lycopodium, Selaginella and Dryopteris. You can observe here spores present on the surface of leaves and this is called as a sporophyll. Here you may observe Pteris, Salvinia, Adiantum and Marsilia. In this you may observe Selaginella, Pteris, Dryopteris, Adiantum, Equisetum, etc. Now, the last topic of this session is about common names of different pteridophytes. So, let us see. First is Lycopodium, that is commonly called as creeping pine or club moss. What they are called as? Creeping pine or club moss. Selaginella. Selaginella is commonly called as spike moss. Azolla, it is called as water fern and it is the smallest pteridophyte. So which is the smallest pteridophyte? Azolla is the smallest pteridophyte. Adiantum, it is called as walking fern. Ophioglossum, it is called as adder's tongue fern. Equisetum, it is called as horse tail. Xylotum, xylotum is the leafless pteridophyte. Its common name is leafless pteridophyte. Cooksonia, it is called as fossil pteridophyte. So which is the fossil pteridophyte? It is Cooksenia. So this is all about today's session. Thank you. For any kind of doubts, please write your questions in comment section.